a little more work trimming the grass and stuff like that in here, because like I said, I just gave up on the system. I don't really care. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and experiment a little more. If she wants to replant all this stuff, I'm going to go ahead and plant some more lettuce and bok choy and stuff in the channel system now that I've dropped it down and got it set up as a gravity feed, and do some other stuff. The eggplant is probably going to be the last eggplant that we plant. I'm not sure if I have any more seeds. And this eggplant I bought at Walmart. It was supposed to be the white eggplant. I bought it because I had long purple and black beauty seeds. Well, lo and behold, it's purple eggplant. It is not white eggplant. I don't care how long you leave it out here. It never turns white. So this is not white eggplant. Somebody move tags around or something. I mean, I doubt Walmart did it intentionally. It's just somebody messing around in the garden center, screwed some things up, took the wrong trays out of the wrong area or something. I don't know. But because right now the rabbit will go down to this end and he will jump right up in this bed, and then he runs all the way back up the bed, and he'll go down there and chew on the eggplant leaves, and he'll chew at the beans, the tender young bean leaves. Every now and then he takes a bean off of the vine. He doesn't do much with the mint. He'll mess with a little bit of it every now and then, but the strawberries he just obliterates. I mean, he chewed this one all the way down, ate all the leaves off of it. There were a few more in here he'd eaten back that we just went ahead and pulled up. He'd eaten this one down, and you can see this one used to be big and bushy. You can see all the stems where the leaves have been gnawed off. So, I mean, it's coming back. He didn't flat out kill it, but he did do a pretty goodly little number on it, and he keeps pulling that one up, so it's never gonna root. He keeps pulling it up. So, and this one was huge. I mean, it was a big, like a foot across, big mound of strawberry leaves, and he chewed it all the way back. I'm not sure if it's going to come back. There's a little green in it right here, but a little green right there, so maybe it'll come back. I mean, this one was huge. It went out like this, covered that whole area up, and he just demolished that strawberry plant. There's a little shoot that's coming up there, so that. And here's another one here that might come back, because this one had some cascades coming off of it. That's why I put it in here. You can see it's still in the cup, but it had cascades coming off of it, and there's one of them. Then that one cascaded over to here, and then came back around, and I had another one here, but he's eating all the leaves off, and he ate, you can see this celery where he gnawed it all the way off. It had one sickly little stem still trying to hang on. That's right here. I just pulled it off and dropped it in case he decided to eat the rest of it, where he just destroyed the celery. So he hasn't messed with this one. It was deformed to begin with. It was always in the shade, which, well, he did eat the stalks off. You can see the end of that one's been eaten off, and the leaves have been chewed up. So we've got to keep the rabbit out of anything else we plant. And the radishes that I put down for seed are already ready to transplant. The channel system I'm not as worried about him getting to. I am worried about how it's going to do, because in order to make it gravity feed, I had to drop it down by a foot to allow better flow through, or to allow the gravity feed to work. I had to drop it down enough to get it below water level, and that put it down where things are going to be a lot more shaded. Of course, south is straight that way is south, so even though it's going to be more shaded, the sun's going to be coming from the end, coming in this way, so they're not going to miss much sun of what they would have had. And on the back side, to drop it down and make it work as a gravity feed, I had to back it way out anyway, so this will get probably close to the same amount of sun it got before. But once the things start coming up and getting up there where they can get the sun, I'm hoping they'll be all right. It'll be a test to see what happens with it. So, but at any rate, the channel system's been updated to work off of a gravity feed set up. New pump. I'm really upset about the Smart Garden Infinity, but the one I got from Harbor Freight even was on sale, so even with the 2-year warranty, it was less than $50. It pumps like 16. I'd have to look it up. So don't quote me exactly, but it's around the 1,500 gallon per hour mark at the height that I'm pumping to, which is 6 foot. Like I said, float switch built into it. It's not a separate plug style float switch. It's built into the pump, hangs out of the pump rather. So it's working. The only thing is I have to have a lot more water in the sump than I used to keep in it for the float to work properly. So I'll just have to keep an eye on it and keep the water level up. But like I said, at least this way it will shut off before it burns the pump up for running with lack of water, because the Smart Garden ran all the way down a couple times, but it was still, water was still going through the pump, just not enough water for it to build up pressure, and it was sucking air, and I would immediately add water, and the pump was never warm or anything, but it's like the impeller and the central magnet started wobbling around, and it wore an oblong pattern where through the center where the ceramic shaft was, so it just destroyed. The magnet was encased in like a stainless steel sheath, and it just chewed that up. It was in pieces. When it stopped spinning, I pulled the impeller out, and pieces of metal were falling out. So I'm not very happy with that at all, because it never truly ran dry. It was always pumping some water. It just, I would come out here to check on the fish, and it wouldn't be aerating. Water would still be coming out, but without enough force to make the Venturi work. And the Smart Garden also, I thought it was quiet until I got this one. That Smart Garden, I would hear it at night, and if I was in pain from my nerve damage, I would have a really hard time sleeping. This thing I can't hear. If I get close to a window, I can hear the Venturi, because the Venturi does make some noise. So, and there's a little, if you can see them, I don't know. Yeah, there they are. There's the fingerlings all buzzing around down in that tank. A little over 500 of them in there, so it's about time for me to put an ad up, see if I can sell some of these guys off. But, and then this, I don't know why this bowed like this. It's the same PVC that's running around the other sides, but today the wind was blowing just the right direction. It kept catching under this and lifting it up. And see, there's those guys. And they're like, oh, food, food, food. There we go. Get the camera to adjust. But, so they're all up for food, because there's a few hundred of those in there. I'm thinking it's between 350 and 400, but I can't remember. So they're starting to get large enough where I need to separate them into different tanks and get rid of the fingerlings I've got. So it's about time to put another ad up or two up and see if I can sell off some of the fingerlings. So I'm still going to be here for a while, so I went ahead and, like when we pulled the tomatoes up over here, I went ahead and cut some suckers and planted them over here. This one was all wilted down, so I was worried about its survival, but it's all back up and perky and springy again now, so I'm happy about that. And then this one is coming up pretty good, and this one, I thought I had more than that. Oh, the rabbit ate one of them down, right there. Well, that just sucks, because he's been eating on this one too. If he kills my little suckers, I don't want to have to seed anymore. 3 of them is fine. 3 will be more tomatoes than we do anything with. So the bugs were still on the tomatoes. They'd been breeding in them, I guess. So that's why I just pulled everything up to start over. Hopefully that'll help get rid of the bugs to a point that I can start dealing with it again. Got some kind of moth here. But at any rate, that's the update on the system.